Welcome back to the vendor table.
Hi.
What's going on, lady?
Oh, just recovering from the doubleheader we shot this weekend.
Doubleheader wedding weekends. We're in full swing.
We've been in full swing for months now.
We have been, but September is the inferno.
Yeah.
And we're now nearing October, which is...
I think October's worse for me.
October's pretty bad for me, too. It's doubleheaders at pretty much every weekend until the end of the month, so...
Yeah, I'm getting, last-minute second shooting requests as well.
Those are fun.
Apparently, people, don't commit to dates when they take them, which is really shitty.
It's really... Ugh.
Commit to the date.
Commit to it. I know, especially if you're a second shooter, just commit to it.
Yeah, in October, last night I got an inquiry for a Halloween wedding this year.
Of this year?
This year.
Did you ever shoot a Halloween wedding? Have you ever shot one?
Yeah, I shot one, but I don't do it anymore.
No. Britt shot a Halloween wedding a few years ago. I remember seeing it, and it was Bourne, and the couple was really interesting. And I remember seeing the photos, and I thought it was so cool. And they actually like we've told the bat story here, but there was a bat flying around Bourne Mansion.
Fun.
And it wasn't intentional. On Halloween, I was that. That's
this Halloween is a Tuesday.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
So weird. But also, the Halloween wedding I shot was really cool too. It was at
Imagen.
It wasn't at the inn. It was the other one. Milridge
Cottage?
Oh, no, actually it was the inn.
Okay.
The cottage is the actual wedding venue and the inn is the smaller spot. And they had a complete Harry Potter themed wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool actually because I
always wanted to do a themed
wedding,
a themed wedding, somebody getting crazy and doing a Game of Thrones wedding. I've always wanted to do one, a Star Wars wedding or something. Yeah. I would love to do one of those. That'd be
I don't mind them. I know some people are ugh, but I think they're so fun.
I just want to do one in my life, and I would make it look really cool. I know I would. I was give me
I had a Star Wars themed wedding. Well, it wasn't a themed wedding, but the whole bridal party was into cosplay.
I know who they are because I did their engagement shoot.
No, different couple.
Oh, okay.
So I had two.
Okay.
But this one, they the whole bridal party had lightsabers, those really
really
intense
nice
ones.
Yeah.
And it was I want to say it was almost a 20-person bridal party, and I have this sick shot at night of them all with their lightsabers lit up in a straight line. And then in the back, I lit them with red and blue. It was dope.
That's sick. I would love.
I'll show it to you.
I the engagement shoot I shot of the couple that brought
Nicole
out
and Marvin.
Yes,
yeah.
I love them. Brought out their lightsabers because they're big Star Wars fans, and they did some Star Wars stuff, and I actually edited the lightsabers to look a little bit more realistic.
I remember that.
It was so cool. I post that I think on every May the 4th because I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
It's dope.
Yeah, it's great.
They were cool.
Well, it's great. Well, today we're gonna have some fun. So. On Instagram, we put out a question to our followers, and you guys
did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint. So we wanted to know your craziest wedding day stories. So we've gotten so many submissions that we're actually going to break this up into a two-parter.
Yeah. And even that won't cover it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll even touch on every single one, but because we got well over, I think, 100, which is crazy.
It was a lot. We did our own craziest wedding stories not too long ago, but we did say that we were going to do this maybe a couple times a year just because there's always crazy shit happening at weddings. So here we go again.
Oh, God. the crazy shit. Well, before we kind of get into the ones that I think everybody submitted, that our followers submitted, there was a crazy story that happened, and it was circulating on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah. And it's kind of a stupid story. And it's such a rookie mistake. Such
a rookie move. And we got sent this video so many times.
Probably 20, 30 times.
That we had to talk about it. So, explain
it. So there was a reel or a TikTok. It might have been both, actually.
It was probably both.
It was probably all over the place. Where a wedding planner. Planner, mind you. Planner. Not a coordinator. Not a photographer. Let's remember that one. Not a photographer, not a makeup artist, not a hairstylist, anybody like that. Not a bride.
Not a mom or dad.
Not
a bridesmaid.
A wedding planner decide. Oh, excuse me. Let me start that over. A wedding planner decided to hang the wedding dress from a hotel room sprinkler. The biggest rookie mistake in the history of rookie mistakes.
You should just know. You never, ever, ever, ever hang the dress or anything from a sprinkler anywhere.
Anywhere. And what's funny is most hotels have a sign that say, don't hang anything from a sprinkler.
It's an emergency, like, precaution that's there in case there's a fire.
It's also common sense.
Like,
you don't hang shit from a sprinkler.
It's a sprinkler. It's not a hook. It's not a hanger. If you don't know how, if you don't know how to finagle hanging a dress in a hotel room, go on Google, type in YouTube, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Do not hang shit
I'll give
from
you a
sprinklers.
tip on how to hang a dress in a hotel room. I'll drop that after we continue to talk about this because it frustrates me to no end. So a wedding planner decided to hang a dress from a sprinkler.
And what happened, Mike?
The sprinkler went off.
Not just one.
Not just one.
All of them.
In the entire room. So the aftermath is showing, the TikTok is showing the aftermath of this, where the whole room is soaked. Everything.
Basically, it's raining indoors.
It looks like it's raining indoors, right? So bride's dress is ruined. Bridesmaids' dresses are soaked. Everything is just drenched.
Bride's makeup
right?
is fucked.
Okay. Everything.
The
Hair,
makeup artist shit is fucked.
And we found out because one of our listeners wrote in and said she knew the makeup artist that was on the shoot on the wedding day, and her entire kit was ruined because the sprinkler went off.
And that's like thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars. Okay. And then you want to hear something even crazier about this one?
This is the best part.
Now, this is the best part. The planner didn't have liability insurance. How does that happen? How is she allowed to work? How does that happen?
I cannot.
I don't. Oh God, it's so frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
It's so frustrating to me to hear that. Like the number one thing, like the one thing when I went, before I even went full time, when I was part time, I had liability insurance. Because most places don't allow you, like, we work in venues, right? Venues don't allow you in there unless you have liability insurance.
They want you to send that certificate of insurance like a month in advance.
Exactly.
To give you the ability to go there.
Yes.
Like, if you don't have insurance, you're not even allowed on site.
Exactly.
To shoot.
Now, this planner, obviously, she had to be new. I'm going to say she's new. Let's
if
just say
she's not,
new.
it's a problem.
If she's not, like, well, I don't think she's...
She can't possibly.
I don't think she's recovering from this one. But let's just put it this way. You don't have liability insurance, right? You're working on a wedding day around so many, and you're affecting so many different portions of the day as the planner, because you're touching everything, right? You touch into every area as a planner. To not have liability insurance, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It was like the first thing that anyone told me to do when you took payment from a client is when you start taking payments from clients, you need to have liability insurance.
100%.
To protect yourself.
If you are a wedding vendor, I don't care what you do, okay? You need to have liability insurance. Get it.
It doesn't even matter if you're a wedding vendor. If you are taking money from clients, if you are just doing like portrait sessions, you should have liability insurance.
You should have liability insurance.
It's not as necessary, but do you really want to test it? Do you really want to have that hanging over your head there?
Well, the planner wanted to have a wedding dress hanging over her head.
Yikes.
So this happened, right? Everything's ruined on the day, right? Her dress. Thankfully, the bride apparently had a reception dress that she was able to wear and for the day and everything like that. And the bridesmaids' dresses weren't too affected, I heard. Like, they were still in plastic, so it wasn't too bad. But I mean, the makeup kit is ruined. Like, I'm sure, like...
And if that makeup artist had, like, other clients that weekend, like...
Oh, yeah. Like, what are you doing?
What do you do?
You're going to rebuy a whole kit that's thousands of dollars? In a day? And I'm sure the makeup artist probably had liability insurance, so she's getting that stuff recovered. But it still takes a little bit to kick in, so you're laying out your own money, right? What... Photographers? Okay, you didn't talk about the photographers being in that room. Like, I have my stuff in a watertight kit, like in a Pelican case. My Pelican case is watertight. And usually when I'm not using it, it's closed. If that sprinkler would have went off and I was in that room with my cameras on, one, I'd be soaked. Two, I'd be running out of there like a psychopath. Be like, ah!
Mine is not watertight, so I would have been effed.
Yeah. But that's the other thing is, like, all right, the sprinkler goes off. Everyone's getting soaked. All the technology out there. Videographers probably in there with like.
And videographers, I feel like mainly shoot like, not mainly, but a lot of videographers have been shooting Sony, and Sony is like notoriously not great with water damage.
No, they're not as watertight. And then videographers use gimbals. Gimbals aren't really meant to be in the rain. So like that stuff could be destroyed. So not only has the planner affected the bride's day, but everybody that's working, that's there, is affected by this.
So bad.
Talk about
like that's a career-ending move.
Yeah, that's a career ender. I'm gonna assume
time to be an accountant.
I'm gonna assume her career is over. I'd love to know if like anybody has some insight on this one.
Yeah, not to like add insult to injury, because I'm sure this person is feeling absolutely fucking awful about what they did, and probably incredibly embarrassed, and now their career is probably over. But it's a learning experience.
So what's the moral of the story here, Lauren?
Don't hang shit on sprinklers. Don't fuck with the fire alarms, the sprinklers, or anything that is there as a safety measure.
That and have liability insurance.
That too.
All right. Well, we're going to move forward to your crazy stories.
Carry command hooks with you.
Yes, that was the other thing. Okay, I wanted to end on this. Okay, thank you for reminding me. So if you need to hang a dress somewhere, command hooks makes like 20 to 30 pound like strength hooks. And you could buy them. They're cheap. They're like $15, and they have like the extra gripped back things that like hold like 30 pounds or whatever it is. You could hang a dress on them. You could put them anywhere in the hotel room. It doesn't take the wallpaper off, the paint off, anything like that. They're great. I use them every wedding in a hotel because I know I could put the dress in the best location, in the best light, all that stuff. And I don't have to hang it on a fucking sprinkler. Idiot. Sorry.
Idiot.
You're just an idiot. Idiot. I'm just going to call you out on that one. You're a fucking idiot.
Oh, my goodness. So
yeah,
aggressive.
Yeah, it's so aggressive. Okay. Well, let's get into our listener stories now. All right. So I could read the first one, and then we'll kind of... Ooh. Okay. All right. Well, let's do a photo one. This has to be from a photographer. Yeah, this is from a photographer. All right. A guest threatened me, yelled, and got in my face because my flash was ruining his photos at the reception. He brought his own camera and placed it on a stand in the aisle at the ceremony, refused to take it away, said myself and the coordinator were so rude and didn't know what we were doing. I was also 28 weeks pregnant at the time.
Dick.
Also,
I feel like bride and groom should have intervened at some point. You know, like if you see your uncle, cousin, random guest, I always go, it's fucking Uncle Gary. Like, it's Uncle Gary. I know it is. Like, some distant relative who
Uncle
doesn't
Bob,
matter.
Uncle Gary. They go by many names.
Who is just a pain in the ass all day. Mm-hmm. Who just does whatever the fuck he wants and thinks that he matters. He doesn't. Bride and groom paid somebody thousands of dollars to do their job, and this guy comes in and thinks that he just can do this shit. Like,
owns the show.
So effing. And then to call the photographer who's being paid to be there rude.
I would just say, sir,
read the room.
read the room.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Like, please stop. Like, don't even. And I just feel like bride and groom at some point should have just been like, hey, Uncle Gary, can you fuck off and stop being a dick? Like, this is...
Yeah, Uncle Gary, fuck off.
We said we weren't going to curse.
Hey, that ain't happening.
But yeah, like, come on, man. This is just like wedding day 101. We've talked about this so many times about guests, like, being respectful, and this ain't it.
Yeah, it's always the uncle that's a hobbyist photographer that just, thinks it's about him and wants to get his photos that are trash, that he's shooting at a 4.0 aperture and just doesn't know his shutter speed and all that stuff. And he's, everything's flat and gross and terrible. Uncle Gary, the bride doesn't want your images. They suck. Sorry. They suck.
What do you think anyone's going to do with these?
Nothing.
They're probably all crooked.
She'll say thank you. That's great. And then post all her photos from the wedding photographer because, yeah.
Chances are she'd rather post cell phone photos. Seriously.
Probably. And he probably has one of those big obnoxious flashes with the brackets, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've had those show up, and I've actually had to say to them, like, listen, I have in my contract that only one professional photographer is allowed to be here. My team's allowed to be here.
The
I had to say
audacity.
it one time. And the guy was nice enough to put it down. I said, I was like, why don't you enjoy your day? I was like, don't worry about it. I'm taking great photos today. But I can't have you stepping in the aisle, and I can't have you like shooting over my shoulder.
The audacity to like set up a tripod center aisle too. And then like this person is 28 weeks pregnant. That's visibly pregnant.
What do you think's worse though? Setting up a tripod with a camera, like a DSLR in the middle of the aisle, or setting up a tripod with a cell phone in the middle of the aisle?
I honestly don't know which one's worse.
I had the cell phone one happen a few times where the aunt is like, you know,
Aunt Sue running
across the room. Aunt Sue can't fucking put her, you know, like can't hold her cell phone. Like
the iPads kill me.
Oh, the iPads are great.
You brought an iPad to a wedding?
Did you see the TikTok of the guy who just started replacing people's cell phones with like,
I did.
With like
I really
thumbs up?
enjoyed it. Just
That was
like
fucking
thumbs
great.
up everywhere.
We'll have to share that story. Well, I'll find it and we'll share it on at the vendor table pod.
I enjoyed
on
it a
Instagram.
lot, actually.
That shit was so funny. He just replaced everybody's
Cell
cell phones
phones.
with thumbs up and like the whole like with generative fill, and it was fucking brilliant.
So great.
It was great. But yeah, iPads and cell phones. And it's not our generation.
It's not. Because our generation, as much as everybody wants to hate on millennials, or even like the younger generation is a lot more respectful about the phones during ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might take a lot of videos and stuff during receptions, but who cares during a reception? Like, have your fun. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But like, iPads, cell phones, this shit during ceremonies is all boomers.
It's all boomers. Sorry, boomers. And I know we have boomers listening
not sorry.
to us. We have boomer listeners too. I'm sorry, but the 50 plus generation, right? The baby boomer generation lives at events on their cell phones. And it's disgusting.
Matt's laughing. He knows it's true. Everybody knows it's true. You look around and you see these pictures of people with their cell phones out, even during unplugged ceremonies, where there is a gigantic sign that says, please put your phone away. Or there's an announcement made. The only people that have their cell phones out are always boomers.
Always boomers.
Guys, just stop.
Let's hate a generation. Here we go.
They will share their photos with you. Just ask. But like, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to post it on your social and be like, congratulations. Like, no one cares.
The best is they record the whole thing, like the whole ceremony. And I'm like, you're sitting like you're looking at your phone the whole time. And, like, live through the moment. That's I started putting my phone away even at sporting events, right? I go to a lot of sporting events. I love going to Islander hockey games, right? And I noticed a couple of times I was like living through my cell phone for a big moment and like, oh, I could post it on Instagram, right? And I remember I missed a goal and it was like an overtime goal. And I was like, oh, God, like I was looking at my phone. It would have been so much better. Like, I think it would have been seared into my memory better if I wasn't looking at my fucking phone in that moment. So,
I was just recently a guest at a wedding from one of my friends in Texas.
The one where you're laying on the floor?
The one where I was laying on the floor
like
with no shoes
person?
on, being a hypocrite and
Total garbage
a
person.
garbage person. Yes, that's the one. And I took like a grand total of maybe 10 photos.
That's awesome, though.
On my phone. And my phone was away. You want to know why? Because there was a professional photographer there.
There it is. Respect the pros, especially, you know, don't lean into the aisle. Number one, on a ceremony, I think that goes without saying, right?
You would think.
Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. Number two, right? Don't bring your professional camera to a wedding when the couple has a wedding photographer. Don't do it. That is an absolute diss to the wedding photographer. It's the rudest thing you could do. If you're a professional photographer, like I would never, ever, as a guest, bring my professional camera to a wedding, ever. Part of me was like, should I keep it in the car just in case the wedding photographer doesn't show up? But at that same point, I'm like, fuck no. I'm not working today.
You're there to enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Okay.
All right.
Let's move on from that one because we spent quite a bit of time on it.
Yeah,
should I do the next one?
Yeah.
I really want to do this one.
Okay.
I once had an entire bridal party take Molly just before ceremony so it would kick in by reception. Needless to say, photos are hysterical.
We're taking Molly, and I really haven't.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. The DARE campaign, like, seared into my memory from elementary school.
College was wild.
As somebody who's never done Molly, and I really haven't, I don't know what the experience is, but I've seen plenty of people on Molly, and needless to say, it is hysterical. I'm sure the photos are hysterical, and that is amazing. You know what? If you're having a good time and
Listen, people are gonna do drugs. We've seen it happen at multiple weddings. You need to be safe. You need to have a support person, and you need to drink a ton of water.
I hope you were doing all these, and I'm sure the reception was a blast because,
can you imagine? All I'm thinking about is Get Him to the Greek.
Oh my God, yes. That's such a great movie. It's such a great movie. That's so stupid. But that's like, I've done receptions, and like my favorite receptions are the ones where people are going hard. I just shot a wedding a few weeks ago, Tori and Andrew's wedding. I love them. They had such a party. Like Mr. Met was there. It was fucking awesome. Everyone was definitely drunk off their ass.
Next level
drunk. I loved it. People are stripping, like the shirts are unbuttoned.
That's my favorite. When people just start taking their clothes off, which I know like sounds terrible, but like at the wedding I was just talking about, like the groom took his whole shirt off, and we were all singing "My Heart Will Go On."
I love it. I saw your. My favorite moment ever at a wedding with like an inebriated groom was he had a whole wrestling thing. Like all his groomsmen came in like as wrestlers, like 90s wrestlers, and he. Midway through the wedding, he got wasted. He took off his shirt and was just wearing his vest, right? And he was a big Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. So at the end of the night, he was so rowdy that he stood on the speaker of the DJ booth, took 2 cans of Miller Lite, cracked them, and poured them down his shirt like Stone Cold Steve. And he was a bald guy, too. It was the most iconic moment I think I've ever had a groom do. I need more grooms doing that.
That's awesome.
Like,
I love that.
If you're gonna party,
what a vibe.
The more rowdy the reception, the better. Wedding photographers have so much fun at receptions. They really do. We have so much fun at receptions when there's a good party. So do drugs and drink responsibly. Just saying, people. All right, we're gonna go to the next one.
We're gonna have a whole host of people just like torching us now because.
Oh God.
Learn to take a joke.
Take a joke, people. All right, let's. Oh, this one's cute and funny. Bridesmaids Waterbrook mid glam begged. This is from Cassidy, our friend Cassidy. Bridesmaids Waterbrook mid glam begged her to name the baby Cassidy. Didn't go for it. Do you ever have, like, Cassidy is our friend. She's a wedding planner. Cassidy coordinates on Instagram. She's amazing.
Love her to death.
Absolutely hysterical. You need to follow her for a great time, and you need to book her if you need a day of coordinator because she's fucking awesome.
She also brings you chicken nuggies.
Oh, she does bring chicken nuggies. She's awesome. She's like, what's her tagline? The bridal bestie. She's your bridal bestie. She really is. She's amazing. I totally could see her doing that. Like as she's like, this girl's going into labor, she'd be like, So you want to name it Cassidy? I love you so much, Cassidy.
It's a good name.
I'm working with her next year, and I'm like very excited because we haven't worked together in a while.
I am too.
But I could see her doing that. I could see that happening. That's amazing. Have you ever had anyone go into labor? No, I haven't either. So like that's kind of is a crazy story.
That's kind of iconic.
That is iconic. That is kind of awesome.
But also such a bummer. Like, you thought you'd make it.
Yeah, that you know. One of the weddings this weekend, Steph's wedding, I think she had one of her bridesmaids was supposed to be in the bridal party and went into labor that morning. I think she was like she was in labor or something like that.
That's happened a few times where they have like either gone in bed rest or like went into early labor prior to the wedding, but never like on the day of. Like that's great. That's like, good luck. I feel
like you're getting ready and all of a sudden your water breaks. Yeah, that's I guess that's good luck for the bride. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we read that one. You could read the next one. I think
Bride was so concerned with aesthetics that she interrupted her own first look to fix a tablecloth.
Okay.
I don't even really know what to say about that.
That's your Pinterest board coming to life. Oh.
It's your first look. It's the first time you're seeing your husband or husband to be.
That's a lot.
Like, it's just like, oh my God, the tablecloth.
Why? Like that.
There's a wrinkle in it.
Oh my God. It's like, could you imagine her like turning to Cassidy and being like, this isn't about Cassidy. Cassidy didn't submit this story, by the way. But imagine turning to a planner and being like right mid first look, right before tablecloth, fix it now.
And if there was video, like she's mic'd up, like those are your first words.
Those are your first words.
Oh man. You can't like redo a first look.
Come on, just enjoy your day. Don't worry about the details. This is what I say. You pay professionals to worry about the details on the day of the wedding. You did all that work, right? Like, say you didn't hire a coordinator or a planner. You did all that work, right? Putting all the stuff together. Let the pros handle it on the day of. If there's something out of place, say something when it's when it's good.
And I feel like usually the venue or like, I'm also trying to figure out like where were they in proximity to.
They were probably in like in the room. They probably.
I've
done first looks in the reception room when it's raining and stuff like that.
If it's raining, and you don't have many options.
I've had to do it in reception rooms.
But like, wait a little bit before assessing the. You have time.
It's really bugging you that much. Like that's not. Oh.
That just I don't know. No. Poor guy.
Oh.
Or gal. On. Who knows?
Yeah, really. Oh God. Yeah. Don't worry about that stuff. Leave it to the pros. Seriously, just. Mention something to the venue coordinator or the planner or something like that. Like, later, though. Be like, and they're probably, if it's during your first look, it's probably not done yet.
Yeah, fair.
Fair, right?
It's probably still in production.
Yeah, so don't worry about that shit. Leave it to the pros. That's a shame that you can't live, like you can't disconnect yourself from that moment.
I know, like some people. For a moment
with your future husband, your soon-to-be future husband.
I know some people are very type A and like obsess over the details of their wedding because they've thought about it for so long, but like that's not as important as seeing your loved one for the first time.
No.
It's just not.
No. Remember at the end of the day, right? We joke all the time on this pod, but at the end of the day, a wedding is about two people coming together.
Yeah.
Everything else that goes on outside of that
doesn't
matter. This shit doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter like who you have at your wedding. It's really about you guys, you two, bride and groom, coming together and being in love and, getting married. That's what it's all about.
I remember you telling me this weekend that at your wedding, Sarah's flowers were the wrong color.
Yeah.
Right? Did Sarah like freak out about it all day?
No. It was 3 days before they went to see everything and showed the flowers, and the flowers are orange, and my wife had pink like coral colored flowers, and she's like, everything's orange, why is it orange? And they're like, we'll take care of it. Literally showed up to the day of the wedding, everything was fine.
Yeah, it's
just leave it to the pros. That's
even if there's like a mistake or something on the day of, like it is secondary.
It's so secondary.
It's not even secondary. It's just like,
so
okay,
secondary.
Just let it ride.
Oh, God.
Because the stress of that stuff is just going to, like, are you going to let that ruin your day?
Yeah.
Your moment?
No, don't let it ruin your moment.
Don't let it ruin your moment.
All right, we got time for one more. All right.
Oh, wow, that worked out well, didn't it?
Didn't it? Wow. All right, so bride passed out during portraits because of the heat. Held her hair back while she puked.
First of all, gold star to you.
Gold star. Absolutely. You deserve the best bridesmaid award.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've had brides pass out, and I had a bride faint on me, and it's actually, she wrote me a review and mentioned it. So this is what I say to every bride especially in a summer wedding. I say this all the time before we get into everything, because I had it happen once. Did you drink today? Did you eat
today?
Did you eat today? Two most important things on a wedding day, brides: drink and eat.
And it doesn't matter if it's summer or winter or any other season, you should eat and drink water. Mm-hmm. You're going to go like hours without eating. Mm-hmm. like throughout the day between travel, taking photos and whatever. By the time you get to your cocktail hour, it's going to be hours from when we started. So make sure that there is food at your prep location, that you have food or snacks on hand, but always drink water.
Always. Always drink water. Always have water on hand. Have a bridesmaid carrying a water bottle for you if you need it, or your coordinator or whoever you have assigned to water duty. But as a photographer, I'm always, like, especially on a summer wedding, because I'm fucking hot as shit, I'm always going to ask the bride or groom, like, do you need water? You okay? You good? Like, and usually they're fine, but like I've seen it where it gets so damn hot that I had a bride pass out on me. It's scary. It really is. It's not fun to see. And like, thankfully my bride was fine, enjoyed the rest of the night, all that stuff. But you don't want that to happen to you. And bridesmaids also, because this happens a lot to bridesmaids.
Yes.
Because they didn't eat all day. They're nervous about the day, whatever, too. Eat and drink. Just in the morning. In the morning, it will fuel you enough, usually through cocktail hour.
I also want to stress that this was one of maybe 10 stories that we got where somebody passed out.
Yeah. I think we saw one that was like a priest fainted.
Yeah.
So let's just group everything in.
a lot of passing out, a lot of fainting stories. We just picked one, but there was so many that it's a
10,
thing.
yeah.
It's a thing. So like you really need to make sure that you eat and drink throughout the day. Don't fast. That's ridiculous. It's a long day, especially in the summer. Like the Texas wedding I just went to, it was 105 degrees out.
That's disgusting.
It was hot as fuck. We were all consuming so many bottles of water because
You're sweating out your
we're
weight.
sweating everything out. Like even being completely hydrated, you were still at risk of passing out.
Yeah.
So it was, it's intense, and it does get hot like that on Long Island. It is now.
And we had a stretch, I think the first week of September, it was like humid as F, and it was like disgusting. And I just remember like being like drenched in sweat. I'd always have like another shirt just to change into.
I was on a job with you where I had to like stop and go get water because there were multiple times. And I was just wearing like a tank top and like nice pants.
Yeah.
But it gets hot. Oh, that was the Crescent Beach Club one.
Yeah, oh, so hot.
I was like, do you need water? Do you need water? Do you need water? And I like went and got your water. And I was like, because I needed water.
It was so hot. It was so hot. It was beautiful.
That was
such
so
a
hot
great
that day. But that was the champagne.
Yeah, Ashley and
couple. They
Mike's
were
wedding.
so
They're
fun.
fucking awesome. Love those two.
Epic jumpsuit.
Epic jumpsuit. I'll send this clip to Ashley. Epic jumpsuit, Ash.
She knows. I already messaged her like 3 times about it.
Oh, we love them. All right. Well, you see, this one flew by, and we still have more.
We have more.
We have more.
There's going to be a part 2.
We're going to pick this up next week on part 2 with our craziest wedding day stories, part 2. Lauren.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at LaurenO'BrienPhoto.com, Lauren O'Brien Photo on Instagram, and the Feral Photog on Instagram. And if you want to find my TikTok, it's Lauren O'Brien Photo. There's only 3 videos, sorry.
Nice.
I repost stuff.
Well, you can find me at Michael Cassara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. And you can find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Guys, it's been fun. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye.